hatred, he found no peace, and with boiling blood, he scoured the umbral plains, seeking vengeance against the Dark Lords who had wronged him. And those that tasted the bite of his sword named him the Doomslayer.
So guys, Jake with Team Tactical coming with a special review. Today, we are looking at the Recover Tactical PIX Plus chassis pistol system. So this was actually sent out by Recover Tactical for us to check out on the channel for testing and evaluation. We're gonna go over all the specs and features, the pros and cons of it, because there are pros and there are cons to using something like this, and kind of help you make a good, solid, informed decision on whether or not you should get one of these. Oh look, I left a magazine here.
Oh.
Might be good to have.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I'm not convinced.
Let me get this thing zeroed up. It's currently shooting, I think, pretty freaking low. So the PIX Plus, this is actually derivative from the PIX that came out in 2022. The Plus version here came out in 2023 at SHOT Show, as announced there. And they did actually make a lot of improvements on some of the complaints that people had with the original PIX system. The plastic would like bend and change shape, and that would actually affect your reliability. Just so you see here, we are clear there.
Oh, show range officer Randy.
We are clear there. So a lot of times people are having an issue where when you pull the trigger, it actually causes the plastic and the gun to actually flex a little bit, changing your point of impact, and that is a huge issue for when you're trying to shoot something like with a red dot on there. They fixed a lot of those issues with this iteration. We're gonna kind of go over some of those features with this version and things that you need to take note of before picking one of these up. Tell me it's not accurate now, mother.
Yeah, I know, honey.
Okay, yeah, it's in there. Couldn't tell at first. They have a few different price points. This is the $300 version. This is like the all-inclusive version where you get this as an extra little add-on. This is the magazine holder, not vertical grip, magazine holder, mind you.
Indeed.
It also comes in this configuration with a buffer tube that's like a proprietary thing for them, a stock that's detachable. Now this is a pistol brace that we put on here. It is currently, as you see here, Tuesday, May 30th, 4:24 p.m. The day, well, 4:25 now. The day before the whole ATF pistol brace thing happens. We'll get into this in just a second why that's a problem. In addition, you also get this metal handguard here. Not really a handguard, just an extra extension here to actually protect you from putting your soft little fingers in front of where that muzzle might be. Yeah, you don't want that.
Good for me.
Yeah. With this $300 version, it has all the bells and whistles. Their MG whatever version. You get a couple side Picatinny mounts. Now we do have an O light on here because it was just sitting around. I was like, you know what? Let's put it on here. It looks tactical. Use your own brand flashlight, whatever you may choose. That's your preference. This is just what we had laying on the shelf. It has a pick rail that goes all the way top here, as well as back here where we've got the EOTech. This allows you to put your front and rear iron sights if you want to do that. Or in this case, like how we have an EOTech, you can do that. Red dot. I mean, hell, I guess you can put a variable optic if you want there as well. It's really up to you. You do have a magazine release there. I have found that this right here, it's essentially just a long piece of plastic that you press down on. It works pretty well. There were a couple times where I was having an issue where I didn't quite press down hard enough to actually get that magazine to eject. So just kind of be aware of that. It's I mean, it's all polymer. You do have a safety mechanism, very similar to an AR. So that's fire, that's safe, just like on an AR. You'd have that. It is compatible with any AR grip. So they give you this one here. This is like their version of a grip that can actually fit a Glock mag in there. So that's pretty cool. That being said, you can have 1, 2, 3 mags attached to this. One up here in the mag holder, one here where the actual Glock goes, and one back here is a little bit of something extra for the boys at home. Now, to actually charge your Glock that's inside the chassis, you do have a charging handle that attaches directly to the Glock slide itself. There are some issues with the charging handle that you need to be aware of. It will not fit a raised front rear sight. So if you're doing that for like suppressor height sights or red dot height sights or whatever you want to call it, this will not fit in there. These are just standard night sights. They're not necessarily raised, but even then, these guys were having a hard time fitting in there. So I actually had to take a Dremel, grind out this plastic here in order to fit my Glock 19 in there. That was one major con. Maybe with standard stock Glock sights, it won't be an issue, but anything aftermarket, you may have this problem as well. It's just something to take note of there. You may have to do a little bit of Dremel work. That's kind of a con in my opinion. I wish maybe they just put that gap there to begin with so that you could fit whatever sights you want in there. Like I said here, this does mount directly to the slide, so it's nice and secure. You don't have to use, it's got 2 pieces to it. The actual charging handle is 2 pieces. So it's got like one large piece that goes over the top and this bar back here. But then you'll see there's a smaller piece that goes in the back that kind of fits in with this nut and bolt right there on each side. You don't have to actually necessarily use that bond piece. It should still function with that. However, I would still recommend using the bond piece if you can to kind of make it a little bit more secure to avoid that charging handle flopping off or something crazy. So that is one major con of this chassis system, that you have to do a little Dremel work to get the slide and charging handle to fit properly. I can hold it there, but I'm gonna hold it right here now.
Oh,
You ready?
I like when you hold things.
Tell me again I can't shoot, mother.
Has someone said that?
That guy up there saying, hell, you missed about 10 of them.
Which feller said that to my boy?
The roofers.
Those roofers over there?
Yeah, they don't understand the process. See this metal piece right here? It attaches right there. You'll see there's a nut and bolt right there. There's the actual nut part and the bolt goes through. It's behind this O-light nonsense right here. With this metal guard thing on, you cannot fit your Glock 34 on here. Maybe have trouble with the 17 as well. I tried originally putting my 34 on there. Now there's no handgun here, but do you see how it hangs down lower than this actual Picatinny on the inside there?
Yes.
That difference there was enough to keep me from being able to put my Glock 34 on this. That's unfortunate. Granted, I did have a little bit of a slightly raised front sight with a fiber optic, but I couldn't find anywhere where they had a 34 on there and this metal guard thing on there as well. So you may have to forego this metal guard extra bit here for a 17 or a 34. Just something to be aware of. It may work out for you, and if it does, great. I'm just telling you my experience I had here. As far as the actual weight and feel goes, it feels really good. It feels really balanced, especially with this thing on there. So I do like that. I do like that with this setup, you've got multiple configurations. You've got this placement, if you will. Again, it's not a vertical grip, it's a mag holder. But if you want to, if you didn't have that, you went with the basic version without that, you could grip it right here. Of course, it's ambidextrous, so you could go like that as well. I do like that kind of placement right there. It's actually, it's a small feature, but it's one that I think is, it's nice. I like it. Obviously, with this kind of being a Glock chassis system, the mag release is not going to be ambidextrous. There's not really a button on this side, even though there are some Glocks out there where you can swap out the mag button to the other side. You won't be able to use that if you're left-handed. Now the trigger back here is going to be very similar to what you find in like a bullpup system, where it's almost got like some linkage here that connects to the actual handgun up here. This is where your Glock is, but you're pulling a trigger that's back here connected with like a bar to pull on that trigger. And I'll show you that here real quick. To actually take it apart and get your Glock out, you just have 3 spots here, one here that you have to unclip. This one is behind the mag holder. There's a second one here. And then there's a third one right there. When you do that, and we'll have to cut here for a second because you can't show this kind of stuff on camera, God forbid. This is what it actually looks like inside of the chassis system. This is your charging handle there, okay? It goes inside, and we'll cut real quick. So you'll see here, as you pull on this trigger back here, you'll see it engages right here and actually goes just past the actual pistol here and comes up right here and pulls on that trigger. Ooh. So when you pull it here, it clicks, it releases. Ooh. This by itself resets. It feels pretty spongy. This is almost like a trigger simulation here. It feels pretty spongy. As far as trigger pull goes, well, that's really dependent on what kind of trigger setup you got in here.
Good. It's all good. Oh, that's hot brass. Oh, my leg.
The wrong fucking hole.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Everything's good. Just keep on having fun. There's no volume here. Oh, my goodness. Wow, that's a lot of concussion right here out on the end. Woo! Woo! What do you think about it?
It's fun.
It's fine.
It's fun.
Oh, that's lame.
Fun.
Oh, yes, yes.
I like especially how it coats my flashlight and handguard with carbon.
Uh-huh. Yes, it's very important.
Look how gassy she is. Look at that thing.
Man.
I'll admit, this is a pretty fun tool to have.
I
like it.
It's pretty cool. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. It's just the world we live in makes it be a thing that it may not be good to have.
Well, it may not be good to have because of... Let's legislate the piss out of this, you know, because...
Well, I mean, we can still shoot this without the brace.
Oh, sure. Sure you can.
So let's do that too. Now, the good news is that even with this setup like this, without the actual tube and brace or stock on the back, you can still make the firearm function as it's intended to. Works just fine. A little bit less accurate than having something back here to help you with assistance, but this is the world we live in, where we want to have our firearms shoot less accurately than they otherwise would. Of course, you can grip it back here, so, like so. Mag release there. Go aim for the headshots over here. Way off. Way off again. Okay, I'm shooting a little bit low. Yeah, I suck. But hey. That's the accuracy without having those 3 points of contact, right? Thanks, ATF. You didn't see that. So the bottom line is, it's really kind of up to you and your situation if this is going to be worth it. Keep in mind some of the issues we had with fitting, especially with our Glock 34 or raised sights for that matter. There are a couple of issues there. I think if you are in that niche category of people where you can only have, say, one firearm at your disposal, this may be a good choice for you. I can't make that decision for you, but what I can tell you is that while we were out here, once we had it set up, it was 100% reliable for us.
Absolutely.
What I get with the tube and stock that they offer as an option, hell no, absolutely not. especially since this, even the brace, is going to be considered not A-OK starting tomorrow. Get the version without the stock or the tube, and you should be okay.
Does it strike you as odd that there could be a situation in life in which, look, is it killing either one of us right now?
It's not, but this
well,
is...
what's going to happen tomorrow that changes that fact?
You guys know where we stand. We are pro 100% freedom in all things, in all regards.
I think you should have 3 on each firearm.
I think you should too. But the bottom line is, this is the world that we live in, and these are the options that we have available to us.
Yes.
Will I recommend it for that niche group that maybe can only have one firearm and they have a Glock but maybe not an AR? Sure, absolutely. A lot of people, myself included, this may not be your first choice to go to in home defense situation, simply because I have better, bigger options than that. Special thanks again to Recover Tactical for sending this out to us. We highly appreciate it. We always try to give honest reviews here, so even though that we did get this for free, we wanted to give you all the ins and outs, all the issues we had, and all the pros that we found as well of having such a system.
I will say it feels great.
Yeah, it does feel very good.
More points of contact are more better.
I've enjoyed it. It feels accurate. It feels right with the Lord. It's got a good feel to it with all things considering. I like it.
More points of contact equals better, because that's called more accuracy, more control.
But that's not what we want starting tomorrow. We want this off so we have less accuracy.
Yeah, we want to spray all over the place so that our neighbors may get hit, right?
Yeah, and then we can call for new gun legislation, and we can, you know, enact new things in Congress because of the problems that we started creating ourselves.
Neato.
How about that?
Neato.
Guys, that's going to wrap it up today with this video. Remember, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Have you picked up a Recover Tactical chassis system like the PIX Plus here? Maybe another one they offer. I'd love to hear from you. We will see you next time.
I'm gonna get it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Look at this. It's like a bad brake job where the brake dust gets all over the rims no matter what you do. Boy, that's a messy boy.
She's a dirty boy.
She is a dirty boy.
He's a dirty boy.
She, he, it.
Yeah, it's 2023.
Yeah, whatever.